This podcast is brought to you by Most Valuable Podcasts, leading the league in podcasting entertainment.
What's up, real MVPs? Ricky Widmer here, and welcome in to another episode of the Wrecking Crew here on MVP. I am joined with my battery mate for this podcast. Doesn't have a camera yet. We're working on it. We'll get it. It's still going. Update on that is it's in process, but you still get to look at his beautiful mug sitting there right next to me. Oh. Tim, how you doing today? How you doing on this beautiful Saturday?
I really wish I had my camera going because Spider-Man, like every Cubs player when they hit that home run, there it is. Thank you, Ricky. I'm doing awesome, man. God, the past 2 weeks.
How can you not be awesome when this team is, like I said, 10-3?
Yes.
I gave you the script, Tim.
By the way, if anybody is following, we talked last week about our projected record for the next until the next podcast. I was a little less enthusiastic about the team. I went a little 7-5, but guess who nailed it?
Hi guys.
There he is.
How's it going? So Tim, before we get into everything, before housekeeping, I will say, because we're talking about this now, it didn't happen exactly as I foresaw.
Nope.
Because the only hiccup is that we didn't sweep Miami. We tied 2-2. We took 2 games. They took 2 games. Maybe the doubleheader is the reason why, because Thursday's game got rained out. But we swept the Astros. I knew the Astros were bad, but I didn't think they were that bad to not get one. And probably the biggest, I will say surprises, even though I was looking optimistically. We recorded on Saturday, so it was after we lost game 1 to the Mariners. Taking game 2 4-1 in the show to start that I thought we were going to win. And then when when he pitched on Sunday and we got the 3-2 win. That was huge because that was a game we were questioning. And then with the D-backs, yes, there was. We should have swept that one loss. Well, we should have swept them that game. That was the 11-12 game.
No, we all knew what was going to happen.
Who started that game?
Guess who started that game?
I knew who started that game too.
Kyle Hendricks. And you know what? Maybe his struggles has something to do with his back injury, which we'll get into later.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, overperforming with a limited staff, both batting, fielding / defense, and pitching. I mean.
Hey, we're looking good.
Definitely changed my outcome of what I think the next 2 weeks are going to be.
It is definitely good to be a Cub fan right now. Before we get in, we're talking about Cody Bellinger today. We're taking a look at what Tim said at the end. We're going to look forward. We're going to talk a little bit about the division, obviously. We're going to look at the other injuries surrounding the Cubs, some call-ups because of those injuries. But before we get into everything, let's go through the housekeeping nice and quick. Number 1, you guys know the deal. Discord's down below. If you're not in it, you're already missing out. Greatest conversations ever for MVP.
I mean, come on, guys.
They're going down below. I will say MLB chat does need a little bit of a boost. So let's get these baseball fans down below in the Discord. That link
we'll get it popping off.
Is down below. If you want to support us, patreon.com is how you can do that. Or you can become a channel member. Both the same. You get the same perks. Link down below. Channel member is on the page. However you want to do that. Great perks for supporting us. And we appreciate the support of all our patrons. Our sponsor for the show, BETUS, their links down below. You'll hear more about them later on. We're on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and I think that's about it. Socials too are down below. Tim's, mine, all the MVP ones as well. Go ahead and follow us on social too. But Tim, the biggest news heading into today's podcast, Cody Bellinger, what is it? I want to get this right. I believe it's 2 fractured ribs or 2 cracked ribs.
This is news to me because I first read it was 1 cracked rib.
Okay.
If he's got 2 injured ribs, this is brand new news to me.
Yeah. So according to Cubs MLB.com, Bellinger injured his right side while running into Wrigley Field's brick wall on a catch attempt in the fourth inning of the Cubs' 7-2 win over the Astros. X-rays that night showed nothing alarming, but following up CT scan on the 24th revealed 2 fractured ribs for the center fielder's right side. Craig Counsell has said that there's no estimated timetable. Bellinger, who has healed, and he has to heal and get symptom-free before mapping out a firm schedule. So that means that he's on the 10-day DL right now. They got to wait for him to heal, get symptom-free, and then they can decide, okay, how long you're going to be out. But right now he's on the 10-day DL. Because of that, PCA gets called up, Tim. And I'm just going to ask you, whichever one you want to start with, the PCA stuff, the Bellinger stuff. I guess my question would be, how much of a road bump or how much is this going to hurt the Cubs, who we do have a plethora of injuries right now?
Cody going down obviously is an initial gut punch to every fan out there. Mm-hmm. Probably more so to people that don't really have knowledge of what our bench can do or how people plugged in play. Mm-hmm. Cody Bellinger is the name. He's the star of the lineup. Obviously, he's batting third. You know, he's our guy. Mm-hmm. And a cracked rib does not bode well for coming back when you're a big hitter.
Yeah.
How much is this gonna derail us? Is a good question, because he had a slow start. Mm-hmm. His numbers still kind of reflect that, but he was on a tear.
Yeah.
Up until he got hurt. Mm-hmm. I believe he had an 8 or 9 game hit streak going into it. Mm-hmm. Yeah, 8 game hit streak, 10 hits, 30 at bats. Can't ask for better than that. 7 RBIs with 3 homers. Mm-hmm. He was primed to go on a run. And what sucks the most is that he got shorted from that.
Yeah. I mean, I will say, though, like, the thing is with this team, like, I'm even looking at just last night. So last night, recording this on Saturdays, we played Boston. And it's like, you look at the team, the guys that have been performing well, Christopher Morel, he went 2 for 5. Michael Busch, who's been probably the unsung, like, diamond in the rough, like, nothing for the Dodgers, everything for the Cubs. He went 3 for 4 yesterday in a great game. Dansby Swanson, 2 for 5 in the game yesterday. But the biggest linchpin to me, and this is kind of where they kind of like intersect him, is PCA starts last night. He's batting in the 9 hole. If I know this isn't going to be an everyday thing, but if PCA can come up with clutch hits like he did against Houston, if he doesn't hit that home run, we don't win that game. If he comes up with clutch hits like that, or even gives us a couple games like last night where you get 3 plate appearances, you go 2 for 3 and 2 RBIs on those, that's going to be huge. Because if we're putting him in the 7, 8, 9 hole, if Morel's getting on base, if Busch is getting on base, if Swanson's getting on base, we need someone down there late in the lineup to get those guys home.
And you're absolutely right. And you know, I'm scoffing here because anybody that I've been in a group chat with knows that I doubted everything about PCA come from last season all the way through spring training to where he's back down in AAA. I'm like, yes, that's where he belongs. He's not going to be good for 2 more years. I remember texting that to somebody. He came up, he proved me completely wrong. And I'll be the first one to sit here and say he's gone 3 for 7 with 4 RBIs. Mm-hmm. If you're looking for somebody that's lower in the lineup, 7th, 8th, which unfortunately he's batting 9th today. I think I just got a prompt from Marquee Network. But if you're looking at somebody for lower in the lineup to actually base, I mean, you kind of got him.
Yeah. And I mean, let's see. I will actually MLB lineup because I follow
so far. I don't want to put too much. I don't want to put a rocket up his butt, but
and that's why I'm saying, like, if you can at least, like, spots, he ain't gonna go 2 for 3 every night.
And I was surprised he's played 3 games in a row.
Mm-hmm.
I thought Council would have sat him yesterday, maybe put him in a pinch hit spot today, but he started him 3 in a row. I mean, I think this is a like, hey man, hey kid, prove yourself. We got kind of a crummy team that we're playing.
Mm-hmm.
I think Hoke is pitching today for Boston.
No, it's gonna be Josh Winkowski.
Winkowski, okay.
Ben Brown's on the
Ben Brown play for us.
There is some Council's made some slight changes coming in today. The game's actually going to be starting right now as we're recording this. The top 6 stays the same for Craig Council in game 2. Same order, same guys. Horner, Talkman, Happ.
Lean off, yeah.
Horner, Talkman, Happ, Morel, Bush, Swanson. Then he's got Matt Mervis in the DL spot, lefty. Jan Gomes catching, and then PCA is at the 9 hole, our 9 spot again, to go back over to Horner. Like, in looking at some stats for the Cubs here, you were talking about hit streaks. Talkman, 5-game hit streak heading into Saturday. Dansby Swanson, 4-game. PCA, 2-game. Morel's got a 2-game hit streak. Jan Gomes, a 1-game. Happ, Bush, Mervis is 1. Nico Horner's got a 3-game hit streak. So every single Cub heading into today has a hit streak of at least 1. I don't know if that's something to lean on or not.
Well, of course it is, because it's how we've been able to win these games, despite the problems that we talked about in the last episode with our bullpen.
Yep.
When we get ahead early, that is so paramount to us securing the win, because it gives the starting pitcher all that confidence and relax, opportunity there to go 5.5, 6 innings. Council doesn't like them going more than that, apparently. I have that written down from the last game. Council is allergic to letting pitchers go more than 4 2/3 innings.
With a bullpen like ours,
I know. It doesn't make any sense. No, not really. Because why go to them so early? But whatever.
I'd rather go to them early and give them less of a leash than go to them late and give them a long leash. Because with a bullpen like ours, Tim, if they do well in 3 innings, cool, you did well. I'm not going to give you an extra inning to screw up.
Well, it's a lot easier to be 7-1 and give it up that like double and just be like, whatever, it's fine.
Which I will say, the one thing that I did want to throw out there when you threw out the bullpen is I love how the MVP effect worked in positive for us this time. Where, for those of you who do not know, the MVP effect, we have dubbed it because since the beginning of time with this channel, could be any podcast, The Wrecking Crew, Heel Talk, Draft Room, when we had the Onside Kick, when we had Primetime Podcast, when we had the Fast Break. Doesn't matter the podcast, Tim. Whatever is said on that podcast, like, this they're not going to do this, blah, blah, blah. The exact opposite happened. So we were very negative about the bullpen, and then they did the opposite. So being negative last time helped us.
I feel like, that's the universe cursing your channel here, just trying to make it look
if
cool.
we can use the MVP effect for good means, then I will do that sometimes, because usually it doesn't
With great
pan
power
out.
comes great responsibility, Richard.
The worst one in my life, and this video never saw I still have it on the channel, so like it's on the back end. Never saw the light of day. Dave and I did a video about Bradley Beal potentially being traded. Literally got traded the next day. Not even the next day, hours later. To where I was
There's some magic involved with the channel. That's why everybody should subscribe.
That's why they should subscribe. Good. I didn't mention that.
Smash that like button.
Yeah, smash that like button. Hit that grand slam.
It's your boys.
Like button. It's your boys, Ricky and Tim. But no, not being complete doo-doo heads right now. The The other thing too with this team, Tim, will probably it goes into it is, hi everybody, just want to take a quick moment out of today's podcast to tell you about our sponsor for today, BETUS, a sports book that has it all, whether it's basketball, hockey, football, soccer, whatever you like to bet on, BETUS has you covered, and they are offering our viewers and listeners today a 125% sign-up bonus just for using our link down below in the description. So go ahead, use that link down below and get your 125% sign-up bonus, BETUS. And now, let's get back to the podcast. I'm surprised how well this team has played with Justin Steele's out. He threw 47 pitches in 2 1/3 inning in a spring game on the 26th. Said he came away feeling good. They're going to have him do, let's see, the manager. So Craig Counsell noted Steele will begin a minor league rehab assignment on May 1st. So they're expecting a May return to him. Kyle Hendricks is out. Good. Let's be honest. Good. Give up 7 runs. He's just not good this year. Not good, though, that he has some back tightness. That's what kept him out. They're expecting a return in May for him. And then Drew Smiley's out. He's yet again dealing with a hip thing. And then Seiya Suzuki is gearing up for a mid-May return. As he's dealing with a right oblique strain.
I feel like Suzuki probably is coming back for that second home stretch against Pittsburgh.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's like the 17th or something. May is going to be a tough month. Just looking at the calendar right now, I know this is going way off topic.
Yeah, go ahead. We're all over. I love it.
We got Pittsburgh, Atlanta, back to back throughout the middle of the month. Well, that's gonna be weird.
I'll say this: Pittsburgh has been trending on the downcline. That hot streak that I talked to you about the last podcast has not kept up, and Atlanta is on the opposite. They started out low and are seemingly starting to pick it up like they would. Like they're the Atlanta Braves. They're one of the best teams in baseball. So like. Yet again, though, the Pirates, like those divisional games, everything, like if I had notes on this page about the game, you know what I would do with them, Tim, for that divisional game?
Tell me.
That's what you do. That's what you do. You throw it all out the window. All out the window. Doesn't matter. Divisional game. Because anything can happen.
With his record contract. I love this guy.
Crumple, crumple, yeet.
Where's Cody on that list?
Cody, he is down at he's the newest one, so he's TBD. They don't know exactly when Cody's coming back. I was gonna say on the 16th, which was looking at my calendar last Tuesday, Craig Counsell said for Seiya that it's a rough timeline of 4 weeks. So
last Tuesday.
Yeah, so it says on April 16th, which would have been not this Tuesday that just passed, the Tuesday before.
That'd be San Diego.
On the 16th, Counsell suggested a rough timeline of 4 weeks for Suzuki to return to action from his latest oblique injury. So that'd be 1, 2, 3. That would be May 14th is what we're looking at.
Which is Atlanta on the road, which go to probably return for Pittsburgh on the 14th, 15th, 16th, 17th, which is a Thursday. Okay. I'm going to write that down.
Yep.
May 14th.
Whereas everyone else is expected back in, it just says May.
Yeah. You really hope for everybody to stay healthy for that whole period. Everybody else, our top guys have gotten like dramatically injured and somehow we're still pulling through.
Yeah.
The thing about Cody, I would ask you, I mean, the guy is a ball player.
Yeah.
We know this. He plays really, really hard. And he's not opposed to jumping at Wrigley Field into the wall when you think there's ivy to cushion you just to get the out leads to an injury. Actually, I don't know if that was at Wrigley.
It was.
Okay.
It was the Astros, so it was yes at home.
Okay.
Right into that brick wall.
when he comes back,
Mm-hmm.
do you put him back out in center field? Like, let's say PCA is killing it and Bush is killing it, right?
Mm-hmm.
I there's a part of me that wants to move Bellinger to first base permanently, and
Mm-hmm.
I know it might be early in the season, it might be overreaction to his injury,
Mm-hmm.
but I want to protect him because I want him to be a hitter in the lineup, or maybe you even move him straight out to DH.
Mm-hmm.
If he's lost a step or two on his speed and he's not like fully confident fielding wise, which
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying he is or isn't, but how do you feel about that? I kind of want to just protect him and put him at first base.
Yeah, so before I answer your actual question, I'm gonna say something that you pointed to.
Okay.
When Belly comes back, because he will be coming back, like the two fractured ribs, it's not like an out for the season thing. I'm assuming, and I told you this before the podcast, what it's probably going to be is every 10 days, they're going to put him on the 10-day DL. They're going to wait for, okay, it healed, no symptoms. How many more days? Like, that's basically going to become a thing of like, okay, do we put you on another 10-day DL because it's going to take 10 days? Or is it going to be, it'll take you 4 days to heal it. We're just going to put you on the bench and not use you. When he's ready to come back to the lineup, whether that's sitting on the bench for 4 days and not wanting to put him on the 10-day DL, PCA could make this an interesting situation because if PCA is playing well, I'm not calling him back down. So it becomes a situation of who, before we even get to where Belly plays, who gets called down, because if we're going to keep PCA up, I rather, like, yet again, it also depends on how well defensively PCA's been playing. Like, if he settles into center field as our main center fielder, I'll just keep him there. I'll keep him there and then either put Belly at the DH spot or first base, like either one.
Yeah, I mean, PCA is gonna be a. Sorry, I just saw the pen in your mouth. It looked like something else.
Oh, okay.
PCA is gonna be the defensive anchor of the team. He probably already is.
So then we don't have to put Belly in center. Like, that makes it easier, right?
Right.
Makes it an easy decision.
But then you go, what do you do with Bush? Bush goes to DH?
Dude, what I would, my first thought would be Belly at first, Bush at DH, because last podcast, we were kind of ragging on Bush for his defense. So why not have him settle in as the DH?
He had that one pretty bad error where it was, I think it was Swanson who threw it to him and it was clear. I think it was in the Boston series. And it was so easy and he just let it go through his glove. But the guy, I mean, I've seen him make good defensive plays. Obviously, we've seen him make great offensive plays. He has to stay in the lineup. Yeah. So now if you go PCA center field, you go Belly first base, Bush, you have to keep in the lineup, so he takes up the DH. Now you're locked in. Now you don't have a free-flowing DH where Counsell likes to go. Counsell likes to mix and match and do different puzzle pieces in different places.
Some days it's Cooper, some days it's Bush. Today it's Matt Mervis.
Now he doesn't. Now he's locked in. Now he's kind of handcuffed.
Does that take him out of his zone?
Yeah, no, for sure. I don't think he wants to do that.
Yeah.
I don't think PCA, despite what he does, takes over permanently this year.
Okay. Well,
at least not until August.
I was
something like that. You know, like he has to be that consistent.
Well, I just thought to myself, let's say Belly, because I'm assuming Belly's going to be back before Seiya. What if Belly?
I would guess probably the same time. But I thought Belly was going to be out longer.
Let's say let's look optimistic side.
Sure.
Belly's out before mid-May, or he's back before mid-May, I should say. It becomes kind of a two-tiered thing where until Seiya comes back, what I would say is keep everything how you're doing, just Belly goes to right. Belly plays right field. Then when Seiya comes back, then it's this discussion of like, where do we move Belly? Because, or are you going to look at it and go, no, we're still going to play Belly in center. And then PCA becomes like the piece of like, oh, this guy needs a rest. We fill him in. But yet again, if PCA is batting so well, why would you want to sit that on the bench and just take that out of the lineup?
Well, we have to see if he's going to be batting well. If he keeps doing what he's doing, obviously, yeah. Like, I mean, he's billed as a 5-tool player.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead. Did I cut you off?
No, you didn't. I was just going to say, like, let's look at it optimistically. Let's say he is playing well. Like,
so, yeah, he's playing well.
Mm-hmm.
That means when Belly comes back and Seiya comes back, now we got to send 2 guys down.
Yeah.
And that's probably going to be Mervis and Canaria.
Dude, you read my mind.
Yeah.
I would have said him in the opposite order because Matt Mervis was just the guy that I settled on, but you read my mind. Because it ain't like the way I looked at it is it's not going to be Gomes or Amaya. We need 2 catchers. Bush, no. Wisdom, no. Belly, obviously, no. Horner, no. Madrigal, no. Morel, no. Swanson, God, no. Horner, no. Hap Talkman, no. PCA, if he's playing well, no. And then Seiya, obviously not.
Yeah.
And Cooper? No, Cooper isn't on the depth chart right now.
No.
Mm-mm.
There's just I know I'm just reiterating this, but there's a strong part of me that wants to keep Belly at first just to preserve him for the year.
It works like that.
And then Spot starts in center field if he wants to, but like we need to switch the depth chart up.
Yeah. No, you're right.
He had seasons where he's been injured for long periods of time. And let's just keep him healthy. We need his bat more than we need his glove, especially if we have PCA.
Yeah, we do. His bat is paramount, and that's even with him starting slow this year. I want to switch gears. We're talking about the lineup. What about when Steele? So we got Steele. We've got Hendricks from the starting rotation is out. Smiley, I don't think it's a big issue because it's a bullpen arm. Like
he's like the 7th string starting pitcher. So
yeah, like it'll be easy to move some of the bullpen around. But the thing I'm looking at here, dude. So Steele comes back, right?
Tell me.
He's obviously going to be in the rotation in the top 5. Right now, the Cubs rotation, if we're looking at it, the starting pitchers, Shota.
Can we do some Spider-Man things for Shota? Because he's that good. Can you do them? I can't. I'm not on camera.
These?
Yes, thank you. Thank you.
Dude,
for Shota.
You know what I thought, and I wish I had a
best pitcher in the game right now.
I wish I had a baseball here. I'm going to use my D20 like it's a baseball.
There it is.
I almost want it to be like there's a commercial that he's in where it's like playing off of like there was a foul ball he caught and he was like holding it like, I almost dropped it.
No.
He was holding it like this and like looking at it and someone snatched it from his hands. And he went, whee! And they gave it back. And dude, his face when he got the ball back and just went like that, like rubbing it. Like I almost want to have a baseball here. And for Shota, it'll be just me with a baseball.
Sure.
Doing that.
Yeah.
The Morel is obviously the Spider-Man.
Thank you.
Because he's always the one I see doing it.
They all do
I
it,
know the whole
way,
team does it. Give me 1 second. This is bugging me. My cord is all like
tangled.
It's all tangled and it's bugging me because it's getting in the way of my arm. But the rotation showed up best pitcher. You're right. Best pitcher in baseball right now. In my humble opinion, he's been great. Pitched a gem last night against the Red Sox. So we got Shota, Ben Browns tonight, Wicks, Tayon, Asade.
Dude.
So here's my question, Tim, and I'm going to put the pressure on you because I can't put the pressure on me.
I don't like this, but go for it.
Steele comes back. Which one of those 5 gets bumped out of the rotation?
Brown.
You think so?
In gut reaction, Brown.
Over Wicks?
Maybe Wicks.
I
think they really like Assad.
Okay.
Jeez. That's
tough. I don't
think either. I think Brewer goes down, and then they just have like
not goes down, not goes down. Rotation. Who gets taken out of the starting rotation? Because that's the thing. All 3 of Wicks, Assad, and Ben Brown have been pitching pretty well. I'm not mad at anybody. That's the problem. Like, I wish I was like, oh, you stink, you're gone. Like, let's see. Last start.
You know what? If it's me, I'm going. I'm taking Wicks out.
Okay. I like how you said that because here's what I'm going to say. I'm just using the last start. Last start, Wicks pitched against the Astros. Pitched 6 innings, gave up 5 hits, 2 runs, struck out 4, got the win. Wins to me with baseball, with starting pitchers are kind of like because you need the offense. I don't really care about that stat either. I'm still going to say it, even though you and I both know wins are not everything. Assad, he also pitched against Houston. Didn't get the win, but pitched 5 2/3 innings, 4 hits, 1 run, 1 walk, 5 Ks.
Yeah, I'd like to see him do 5 2/3 innings, but
did I say 4? Yeah, I meant 5 2/3.
Okay,
he did pitch 5 2/3.
But again, I'd like to see these guys go 6 or 7 innings.
And then Brett Brown. The last time here's the thing. The last time he started a game, I believe, was the Arizona game, because against Houston he only pitched an inning. Against Miami he only pitched 2 innings. Last start was Arizona, 6 innings, 1 hit, 1 earned run, 2 walks, 4 strikeouts.
I like that stat line.
And we'll see how he does today against Boston. But maybe you're right. Maybe Ben Brown is just the guy, and he gets bumped back to he's constantly the guy that's like, hey, well, we need you to start. You're going to come up and start. But other than that, you're going to go to the bullpen, give our bullpen a little bit of a boost because we need it.
I also don't think it's out of Council's repertoire to go 6-man starters.
Okay, so you think a 6-man rotation is in play?
I don't think that's what he's going to do. But if there's a manager to do it, yeah, he's in that pool.
I will say right now, I don't think is the time. But in August,
no, I wouldn't either. But I can't put it past him.
Yeah, that gives me hope for August and September, where it's let's save some of these arms for the playoffs. Let's go to a 6-man rotation here in September.
He might do what he did with Ben Brown on his first quote unquote start, where he started in the 2nd inning. I think he had
one of the bullpen arms.
I can't remember who did the first inning on that one.
It was Luke Little. Oh, it was Luke Little.
It was Luke Little. He did the first inning, and then Ben Brown did 2 through 6 or something.
I said it when you brought that up the first time. It's just some Tampa Ray BS that I don't like. Just that Tampa Bay Rays trying to be Wildcat offense of the baseball world.
The Matt Nagy's of baseball.
I guess if it works, it works. But it just my old baseball head just doesn't like it. It's the one thing though I'm kind of sitting on, and you're gonna kind of giggle at this and be happy.
Okay.
Looking at our rotation, Steele comes back, right? Let's say our rotation is Steele, Shota, Wicks, Taillon, and Assad. Kyle Hendricks, I'm sorry, when you come back, there's no room for you. There's no room for you, my dude. Go to the bullpen.
Go to the closer role.
Can I say?
Can we do that? Can we do our MVP Discord will him into the closer role thing?
I don't know if I'm not there. I'm not.
You'd rather have. Who else would you rather have there? Hector Neris?
For now, I don't know. Dude, I can't trust Kyle Hendricks to not let the other team score runs.
So for some reason,
unless you think that he can just give a good inning.
Yeah, that's what I do definitely believe. But this is off topic.
Yeah,
or not off topic. But they do not want to put Leiter Jr. in there.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I don't know why he's not being optioned for that role. But if he's not going to be, if he's going to be our go-to middle reliever, which we're going to need if our starting pitching only does 5 1/3 inning, why not? Give it a shot.
Can I
try to squeeze whatever talent you can try to get out of Kyle Hendricks? Because come on. Look at me, Rick. We're done. He's done.
Wait, I gotta look at you because I can't.
He's done.
So I'm gonna say something crazy.
And this sucks because he was probably one of my favorite pitchers of that 2016 team.
So I got two things going in my mind. I'm gonna ask you.
It's 8 years later, man. The guy is.
Well, I've got two things going in my head. Do
Go
you
ahead.
want
I'm
my? Do you want my non-crazy question for you first, or do you want my crazy comment first?
I want the crazy comment.
Now it all depends on if this is possible.
Oh no, you just want to say it?
This all depends on if it's possible because he could have to. There's a possibility we lose him here, and if he has to go through waivers, then no, we don't do this. But
Oh no, you sent him down.
if he has an option, do I send him down? Does
I
that
doubt
kill
he has
Kyle
an option.
Hendricks'? Does that kill his confidence though if we send him down? Am
Yeah,
I
for sure.
also going to want to be paying him that much money to be in the AAA?
Exactly.
But if you're not like that's the thing, if you're not good, and here's the question I was going to ask. That's not crazy.
But that's an owner's thing and a GM thing. It's like, well, if we're paying him that much, he better be contributing to the team.
Here's my non-crazy question then. Towards the trade deadline in July, I know it's months away. Do we look to package him, like attach him to a deal? Yes. Do we look to just trade him for anything? Does anyone want him in July?
Unfortunately, yes, probably.
I'm not. If he's pitching like
I'd love for him to retire a Cub, but like, unfortunately, yes. He has no value anymore right now.
Yeah. Does he retire? Do we not probably move him and he just retires?
Well, okay. Hey, front office. What is his contract right now? How many years he got?
Yeah, let's see. I'll look up Spot Rack. I was actually thinking about pulling that up, and then I didn't.
For all you that don't know, Ricky does work in the front office of the Cubs. He's low level, but he does work there.
I wish, dude. Dude, I saw something today. By the way,
what do you mean you wish? You got a 4-figure job.
I wish that I was in the.
You make $1,800 a year.
Quick aside, dude. So quick aside, dude. I'm pulling up Hendricks' contracts. I don't think I haven't. I want to find the article because I saw today. It was I think the fan-sided blog, Cubby's Crib had it. That apparently like among I'm gonna have to find it again. Among like other major league owners, that other major league like executives and stuff don't have a positive opinion or a positive what's the word I'm looking for, view on Jed Hoyer.
Okay.
And that's something to me that I'm just like, it's interesting because I don't like Jed Hoyer.
I was gonna say I didn't think you did either.
Oh, just trying to ride Theo's or not even ride Theo's coattails to prove that it was you two.
This was one of your things that you thought he was trying to do his own thing, right?
Yeah. Well, he is because he got rid of all Theo's guys.
Yeah.
Immediately.
But how many of them have panned out once he got rid of them?
I get it. Rizzo's still doing
for about 2 years, maybe 3, maybe.
I think
kind of. But the guy was old too. I mean, like he's at the end of his career.
Yeah.
Bryant and Baez are like in their prime, aren't they? Like 28.
Dude, I'm gonna have to find it. I thought it was Cubby's Crib that had that article, but yeah, Spot Rack ain't opening for me, my dude.
Okay, so we both agreed on who would go down when the other two, Belly and Saya, come back, right?
Yeah.
Let's talk about the people that are staying
in like the MLB.
No, on the Cubs.
Yeah. So are you saying staying in the starting rotation or staying on the major league roster?
The MLB roster on the bench.
Okay.
I mean, the other guy that we both vouched for was Wisdom.
Yeah.
I think both me and you agree that his bat at the plate is strongly important.
Mm-hmm.
Despite his stats of being only 2 for 9.
Yeah, and what's funny is both of those hits that you mentioned, one came yesterday in a pinch hit appearance where it was a 2-run hit or 2 RBI hit.
You know what the first one was? Another two RBI hit.
420 against the Marlins.
Yes.
He went 1 for 4 that day. He played a lot more, but it was also a 2-run RBI.
So, like, when you're talking about his value in the lineup,
Mm-hmm.
and I've had conversations with, again, I keep referencing group chats that I'm in.
Yeah.
But
Go ahead.
I've been called crazy for wanting wisdom in this lineup sometimes. When you have 2 hits for 4 RBIs, it just 9 at-bats. I mean, like, coming off that injury, being shuttled into the lineup, producing that well, I'm sorry. I mean, like, that's a guy I want in a pinch hitting run.
Yeah.
I don't care if he strikes out 4 times. If when he hits big, and and runners are on, I'm a wisdom fan. I mean, no ifs, ands, or buts about it.
Right now, I'm fine with him being a pinch hit bat. Pinch hit bat
or the DH
guy.
or whatever.
Yeah.
But like also in this time of not having a lot of play the. So like he has value there. He's not a bad fielder. He's medium.
Yeah. Yeah, I pulled up Kyle Hendricks' contract. This is his last year. He's a
Was he making 16 mil?
He's making 16.5 mil. He'll be a UFA at the end of the year though. So it's
He's
like
not pitching like a 16 mil guy.
So it's like honestly, this is what I do with Kyle Hendricks. You ready? I look to try to get something for him by the trade deadline. If the trade depends on how he's playing. If he continues to play like he is right now, and he hasn't like gone into a closer role and there's like no hope for him, I'm going to kind of be cutthroat here, and I don't like being cutthroat, but I think after the trade deadline, you got to waive him. I'd rather have a young arm that's a little bit better than what he's given me than what he's given me.
No, you don't mean waive him.
Like DFA if I have to.
No.
Like that might be a bad move salary cap wise. But like otherwise, you know what I would do after the trade deadline? This is probably what I would do. Send him down. Send him down. You'll hit waivers. If I lose him on waivers, I don't care, because if he goes through them, I will just pay you. I will pay you August and September to sit in AAA.
I don't like that either. Yeah, I'm calling kook on you. I really think that the bullpen move is the way.
This is me, right?
He'll have an easier opportunity against less batters.
Yeah.
He'll gain a confidence. He'll start to get closer to earning earning what he's actually being paid.
This is me April 20. This is me April 27th. He can still prove me wrong. He can still prove me that like he has worth. But right now, top of the second, Boston's up by 2. I know it's not going to.
Game card, I forgot.
I know this isn't going to matter when it comes out, but I did think to myself, I'm like, I want to see what the score is. Yeah, they scored 2 in the first. Ben Brown gave up 2 in the. Let's see what kind of hit it was, just because I'm curious. Tyler O'Neill, 2-run home run. Tyler O'Neill, that's what he does. It's the only thing he does. 9th home run of the year. Was it to right field? Left field.
Oh,
he hit it over the monster. You owe me a Coke. Jinx, you owe me a Coke. But like, back to Kyle Hendricks.
Of course. So, while we're still talking about the injuries we've had, obviously we got Steele, Smiley, Hendricks, and we all know about Merriweather being hurt for another 2 months probably. We brought up some guys. We brought up Wisniewski, who's been okay. Giving up 0 runs in 6 innings. We brought up Brewer, not as great. 2 runs. He's given up, I think, a run.
Was Keegan a call-up, or was he an injury guy that came back?
That's what I was going to talk about. Was Keegan Thompson. How good is he pitching right now?
been a bright spot for that bullpen that we desperately need.
9.5 innings, 12 strikeouts, 0 earned runs, only 3 walks.
Yeah.
This guy is gonna be if he can hang in there, I'm so stoked for Keegan Thompson. I did not realize how good he was.
Yeah.
Going into the season.
Yeah, and like Smiley, like we mentioned, 15-day DL expected back in May. Someone from the bullpen's getting called down when he comes back.
It'll probably be Wisniewski or
probably Brewer.
Wisniewski or Brewer.
Probably Brewer, right?
Probably Brewer, yeah.
Because Hayden's been playing better.
It's actually been pitching pretty good, yeah.
So like I will say it's nice to see improvement.
But I think Brewer is a lefty, if I'm not wrong.
Here, let me see. Brewer is a righty. Brewer's a righty. Keegan's a righty, and Hayden Wisniewski is a righty. Our lefties are Luke Little is our lefty, and Smiley obviously is a lefty.
Yeah, Shota and Wicks, but yeah, they're both starters. Yeah,
in the rotation, Shota, Wicks, Steele. Wow, we're gonna have 3 lefties in the rotation. Honestly, dude, mate, is it better to have 3 lefties in the rotation or 3 righties in the rotation?
I really don't think it matters.
Okay.
I honestly think that if you're a lefty, your success rate is probably higher than your average righty.
Yeah.
If you can still work against right-handed pitchers as a lefty starting pitcher, that's a real value. And I think those guys are probably given a better. So yeah, no, I have no problem with 3, 2, 4 lefties in a starting rotation.
Okay. Everyone's different. With me, I'm just used to so many righties in a rotation. Tim,
when you have a lefty, it's their other lineup too.
Yeah.
You're facing
their main lineup.
The other team's non-main lineup too. So if you have 3 guys in a row that's lefty, they're kind of like, oh, what do I do? They're kind of like, oh, how do we do this? Like I have specific righties that are gonna hit well against lefties, but they're bench guys too. So who knows?
Yeah,
that kind of thing. But go ahead,
Tim. What I was gonna say is final thing to close the pod. Like I'm pulling an audible here. I know football term, baseball podcast, but pulling an audible. The whole division thing. I know we're a game and a half back. I almost want to shelf it until the next podcast. And the reason why is next podcast in 2 weeks, the Milwaukee series will be over. And it'll be the Saturday we record will be game 2 of the Pirates. We will see 4 games of us against the division. So this is where I'm going to ask you kind of where we're at. So we're going to punt that to the next one. Until next podcast, we have today, which we're already down 2-0 against the Red Sox. We finish up the Red Sox on Sunday. We go 4 with the Mets in New York. 3 against the Brewers at home, our first divisional series. 3 against the Padres. We've already seen the Padres. Went 1-2 against them in San Diego. And then we will have 1 game against Pittsburgh. So that's a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 games. How do we do?
13 including today.
Yeah, let's include today, even though we're down 2-0.
Okay, so I got us winning the series against Boston. New York's gonna be tough. Milwaukee's gonna be tough. San Diego's gonna be easier. And then I project a first win against Pittsburgh. I have us going 9-4 the next 2 weeks, next 13 games.
I'm not going to be as optimistic as last time. I'm just letting you know. And the reason why, let me go ahead and I got to switch up my view here because the MLB site doesn't give me starters, and I like to know starters. So Boston if we lose today, which it ain't looking good so far. Well, I say that. You know what? I say that right now as I'm talking. Top of the second, 2 out, runners on second and third. Cubs up to bat. So let's see if we can change our fortunes here. But today we're already down 2-0. We'll see how that goes.
I hate Boston's uniforms, by the way.
Are they wearing the yellow garbage?
They're wearing
ones?
yellow. Yep, I don't know. I don't get it.
Those are the City Connect jerseys for them.
Terrible.
Yeah, I don't like those ones either. We'll see how today goes. Tomorrow, I expect us to get a win because, let's see, it's probably going to be Wicks on the mound. Like, Ben Brown is our...
Yes, Wicks is pitching tomorrow.
Okay, so we should be able to win tomorrow. Boston's not that great of a team. New York is interesting. I thought that they were going to play better against the Cardinals than they did on Friday. Today, we'll see how they do. So we'll have Taillon, Assad, and Shota. Or Taillon, Assad, Shota, Brown are going to be our starters against the Mets. They've got Severino, Manea, Budo, Hauser. I'm going to be bold. I'm going to say...
Sounds like a witch's spell.
I hate this. I'm going to say today I don't know. I'm going to count it as a loss just because we're down 2-0 right now.
Okay.
I say we win tomorrow with Wicks on the mound, so we're 1-1. I'm going to say we take 3 of 4 against the Mets.
And the Mets, I did too.
I think we win the Assad game. We win 2 and 4 or 2 and 3 for sure. 4 is a question mark. 1 is the one that I think we'll win, but we'll see. It depends on how Severino pitches. So let's see, 1-1, then add 3-1. That'll be 4-2. Heading into Milwaukee. Right now it's Wicks, Taillon, Asa. They have Ross and Wilson. Nobody pitching game 2. Brewers are tough though. I'm gonna say this is where I get non-optimistic. We go 1 of 3 against Milwaukee. We win the Asa game. So what? That's 4-2 goes to 5-4. Heading into San Diego, I think we win game 1. Shota's on the mound. We lose the other 2. That makes us, 6-6? Heading into Pittsburgh, we win 7-6. We just survive. We just survived the 2 weeks. And that just shows, and it could easily be 7-7. If we go 7-7 over the next 2 weeks, I'll be happy. If we survive the next 2 weeks, I'll be happy. And the only
at 500.
Yeah, the only reason why is Boston and Pittsburgh, those 2 games should be winnable. This is the test for the Cubs. The last stretch, we played bad teams. The Diamondbacks aren't good. The Astros aren't good right now. The Marlins are dog water. Boston's dog water. It's great that we can beat bad teams. This is the stretch of game, Tim. The Mets are playing better. The Brewers are top of the division. They have one of the best offenses in baseball right now. And then the Padres are also very good. Who's
behind us in the Central Division right now?
I believe it's the Reds are behind us.
Okay, so the Reds are finishing up a series with the Rangers.
Let me double check because it could be the Pirates.
It is the Reds.
Yeah, the Reds are 3 games back of us, then the Pirates, then the Cardinals.
They got the Rangers, then the Padres, then the Orioles, and then the D-backs. In the same amount of time that we are going to be finishing up with our 2 weeks.
Yeah. Let's see who else.
So I'm not terribly worried about being caught up to if we go 500.
And
like what you're saying.
Well, and here's the other thing. This is how important. You looked at below. I'll look above. The Brewers play the Yankees tonight and Sunday. Those are tough games. I know they beat the Yankees on Friday, but I was talking to Jake because Jake is a Yankee fan. And the only reason they won that game was the closer for the Yankees Aaron Boone was like, I'm not going to have him pitch the 10th inning because right now he's on track to pitch 80 innings, and that's where we want him at. And then the guy they brought in a guy making his MLB debut, and they lost in 10. So that was a close game, 7-6. They get 2 against the Yankees. The Rays, not that great of a team. I think Milwaukee can take at least 2 against the Rays.
We'll see. Milwaukee's up and down, man.
Yeah. Then they got us, which we'll see how that goes. Then they have Kansas City, which Kansas City is also up and down. They're either the greatest team to ever play baseball, or they can't hit the ball worth a damn. So like the Royals are bipolar as well. And then heading into the podcast, they will have started a 4-game series against the Cardinals, with the first 2 games being done before our podcast. So
Ricky, maybe we should do we should do a watch along.
Let's see. What's our schedule like? You mean for the Cubs, right? We're not watching Brewer games.
No. I'm talking about like in like 2 weeks, maybe.
So
or a week from today.
A week from
the Saturday
today?
Game. Maybe the Friday game. What time is it?
The Friday game's at 1:20. You taking off work?
Oh, God. Jesus Christ. No, of course not.
Of course not.
They'd probably fire me if I did. I hate my.
So we could do there's night games. There's a night game on Wednesday. That's the Met game. And then there's the Saturday games at 1:20. So here's my 3 options. You tell me which one you want to do. We could either do Wednesday night, which is against the Mets.
The third Mets game?
Yeah, game 3 against the Mets. Game 2 against the Brewers, 1:20 on Saturday. Or Friday night, 5:40, first game against Pittsburgh.
Patrons in the Discord, let us know what game you want us to stream.
So here's this. Patrons can let us know. You guys can let us know. Everyone watching
Come
live.
on, Pat Hill, get in here.
I am going to do 2 things. 2 ways you can vote on this. I will put a poll on our Twitter page, the MVP_vids Twitter page. There will also be a poll down below in the description to the Patreon page. There will be a poll on the Patreon page that everyone can vote for, even if you're not a patron. And we will tally those up. We'll have the poll go until like Tuesday. We'll tally them up. Whatever game you guys want us to live stream, that's what we'll live stream.
That'll be fun.
It'll be Tim and I watching the Cubs with you guys, obviously, in the chat and stuff. But that's what we'll do. That sounds like a good idea.
Yeah,
I gotta say, great idea. Tim's the one that brought that up. So, like, all credit to Tim for that one.
Thank you.
Tim, final thoughts before we wrap this one up. Anything you want to say about the Cubs before you have 2 weeks to then say more things?
Say less. I hope we win today.
Mm-hmm.
I want to admit that I was wrong about PCA, and I want him to definitely succeed the way he has been doing.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I think that's it. I think
spoiler alert.
It'd be kind of selfish for me to wish for more than what we've been. So
spoiler alert. The Cubs did not score.
I hope you're wrong on your projection next 2 weeks.
I hope I'm wrong, but at the bare minimum, I'd be happy with a 500 week or 2 weeks, I should say.
I hope I'm happy with a 9-4. I hope I'm right. Let's do that.
It should. This is
Cubs
the
rule. Let's go, boys.
This my last thing is this is the top. This is the part of the game. These are the series we have to win. The ones we just saw, we know we can win. These are the ones. This is where the great teams come out. This is where you show we're a division winner. These are the series. The Mets, the Brewers, the Padres. We need to win these games. These are the teams we're going to be seeing in the playoffs. This is where you guys come in. Let us know what you guys think, Cub fans, down below about anything we talked about today. Give the old Spider-Man to you guys one last time. Patreon's down below. Discord's down below. Thank you to BetUS, our sponsor. Catch us on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. If you're not watching us on YouTube or need to listen to us in your car, you can do it that way as well. Social media is down below. Hit that like button, that sub button. Tim really wants to get us copyright striked again. That's what he wants. Doesn't want us to get the monies. But thank you guys for everything you do. And as always, have a good day, everybody. As always, we'd like to thank the people that make these videos possible, our patrons whose names are displayed on the screen now. If you would like to become a patron, go ahead and click the Patreon icon in the bottom right. And if you'd like to check out another video from MVP Sports, hit the video in the upper left. As always, thanks for watching.